Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial. As we speak, the Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate is slowly burning out. Has it been extinguished or has it been merged with the flame at the National War Memorial? That is the controversy that has played out through the day today. It is an emotive moment, one that has polarized not just India's political class, but citizens, both military and civil. Why build one legacy by erasing the other, asks the Congress. The Amar Jawan Jyoti may have been constructed by Indira Gandhi, but it is a tribute to the soldiers who died in the 1971 war. It is not a tribute to the Congress party. Then there are others, especially veterans, who are asking, why not let both eternal flames exist side by side? The government has been quick to step in. It has argued that when there is already a war memorial that honors 26,000 soldiers who died in various wars and campaigns, including the 1971 war, then what is the point of having a separate Amar Jawan Jyoti? In any case, they say, the flame is not being extinguished. It is simply being merged with the one that exists nearby at the National War Memorial. The debate, though, continues. On Debrief today, a bit of that debate, but also a look at some history. Joining me on the show is India's Defence Secretary, Dr. Ajay Kumar. He's answering that question for us. Why not let both eternal flames exist? Also on the show, two of India's most respected Fauji voices, former Army Chief General V.P. Malik and Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur. Both of them joining us in just a bit. Let's start though with happened today, through the day. A solemn military ceremony which was preceded by a very ugly political war. The eternal flame at India Gate. It has burnt bright for the last 50 years, sparking the flame of patriotism in India. Today, the 50-year-old tradition came to an end. This eternal flame, at least a part of it, was with full military honor taken to the National War Memorial. This is where it was merged with the eternal flame that was lit in 2019 at the National War Memorial by Prime Minister Modi. The end of a tradition, the beginning of another. But before this somber ceremony could get underway, there was a massive political controversy. The Congress accused the BJP of erasing India's history and legacy. They asked, why can't two eternal flames exist?
What is happening is a national tragedy. It is a travesty. What is being extinguished is not only an immortal flame, but what is being extinguished is also a very, very important part of our history.
ये सीधे सीधे देश में सारा जो इतिहास है उसको मिटा दिया जाए, हर इतिहास के साथ मोदी जी को जोड़ दिया जाए, उसी दिशा में एक और कदम उठाया जा रहा है.
The BJP was quick in its response. This was not the eternal flame being extinguished, they said. This was the flame being merged with the one that burns bright in the memory of 26,000 soldiers who died in various wars and missions post-independence, including the 1971 war. The attack on the Congress was fierce and personal.
Rahul Gandhi is a last-minute controversy, not that what he's raising. He's a controversy.
वार मेमोरियल की गरिमा को कम करने की कोशिश कर रही है कांग्रेस. हमने कुछ बुझाया नहीं है, बल्कि हमने वार मेमोरियल में फ्लेम को लाकर शहीदों का सम्मान किया.
As the ceremony and the controversy played out, there came an announcement by the Prime Minister, a statue of Netaji at India Gate on his 125th birth anniversary. As for the eternal flame at India Gate, it will be allowed to burn itself out. In New Delhi, I'm Shreya Dhondial. An eternal flame is, well, meant to be eternal. Why put it out? Why can't we have two eternal flames to spark the fire of patriotism in the hearts of all Indians? I put that question to India's Defence Secretary, Ajay Kumar. This is what he told me. We are seeing the merging of the flame
at India Gate, the eternal flame at India Gate, with the National War Memorial. Many people are asking, why is it being done? Could you explain to our viewers why is something like that being done? It has burnt for 50 years.
National War Memorial is the nation's icon for paying tributes to our martyrs. It has today names of every single martyr who has died for independent India. It has a flame which represents every single martyr who has sacrificed his life. And I must make it very clear, there is no flame that is getting extinguished. What is happening is the flame in India Gate is being taken to National War Memorial flame, and both of them are being merged as part of the, so that when people go to the National War Memorial to pay tributes, and when they go and pay tributes, every single martyr who has sacrificed his life is actually revered and respected. And that is a thought behind doing this.
So this, of course, is it's an emotional moment then, because for 50 years, so many families across India have come with their children to India Gate to see the Amar Jawan Jyoti and pay respect to the fallen soldier, known and unknown. So many people, and this is an emotional moment and everyone will have their point of view, are asking, do kyun nahi ho sakte? Why can't we have two flames burn, eternal flames burn, to keep the spark of patriotism alive in the hearts of this country?
National War Memorial is one. And there was no National War Memorial which represented independent India. And therefore, this is the one which represents independent India and its people who have sacrificed their everything for this country.
So you're saying this is not an extinguishing, bujhaya nahi ja raha, this is a merging.
Absolutely.
Sir, thank you very much for your time here on CNN News 18. Good to speak to you.
Thank you.
My guest this evening, former Army Chief General V.P. Malik, joining us. General Malik, thank you for your time, and Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur joining us as well. They both have divergent views, but thankfully in the armed forces and here on Debrief, we know how to keep it civil. General Malik, I'm coming to you first. I want to ask you what you make of the controversy that has been playing out since early this morning.
Good evening, Shreya. Thank you for asking me to join you for this program. I personally feel that this controversy is totally unnecessary. And all the ceremonies are being held at the National War Memorial now for the last 3 years. And therefore, it was the right thing to do that we have one flame burning for all the soldiers, whether they were killed for the nation before independence or post-independence. Let me also remind you a little bit about the history of India Gate. This was constructed in 1932. Although in World War I, we had almost 90,000 Indian soldiers were killed, but the names on the India Gate are only of about 13,300. Everybody's name does not exist. Secondly, when Mrs. Gandhi decided to have a memorial at a very short notice, and that is where the present Amar Jawan Jyoti came up. At that time, it was done at a short notice, and it was also, I would say, stopgap, a temporary measure till the National War Memorial comes up. I must also tell you that there was no memorial before that 47-48 war, or 1962 war, or even 1965 war. This whole thing, idea as well as the Amar Jawan Jyoti came up only in January 1972. And now that we have got a National War Memorial after decades of very vociferous demand by the armed forces, veterans as well as serving people, and now that it has come up at the right place, and a very nice memorial which has come up, National War Memorial. So it was quite natural that the flame should be merged at one place. I must also tell you, you mentioned about people who come to pay their homage, are used to come to pay their homage at India Gate, Amar Jawan Jyoti, but there are no names written there. The names are written, are inscribed at the National War Memorial of not only of 1971 martyrs, but even those who were killed in action post-independence from 47, 48 onwards. So the names are there, and people I have seen go there, keep a flower on the brick where the name of their martyr exists, and they pay their homage. So I think it's an unnecessary controversy which has been created by the politicians.
Okay.
As far as I am concerned, the soldiers belong to no political parties.
Correct.
They belong to the nation. And we have a national war memorial, and that is where we should. It doesn't mean that we disrespect India Gate, because that will continue to stay as it is. The names which are there will continue to be there. And people will even now go there as part of the memorial.
Okay.
But national memorial has to be, war memorial has to be one, and that is what has been done today.
Okay.
And this military ceremony, it has nothing to do with politicians, which we saw today, is only a merger of a flame from one place to the other place, which is just about 400 meters away.
You know, General Malik, this has also become about their war versus our war. I will speak about that in just a bit. First, I want to go to AVM Manmohan Bahadur. Sir, you have tweeted today to say, we have lost a part of ourselves today. And to a great degree, I agree with you because, you know, as children, and not just us, not just me, families from across India came to the India Gate, and for them, Amar Jawan Jyoti was a pilgrimage. All of this is part of our history. This is part of our tradition. When you say that we have lost a part of ourselves, why did you say it?
Shreya, thank you for calling me. And Jai Hind, General Malik sir. General Malik was the chief when I was a wing commander. So you understand where I stand with respect to him. I'm part of the generation, sir, who was in class 11 when the 1971 war happened. I was preparing for NDA while you were fighting the war. I have that opinion about 71 war and preparing for NDA. It's a different feeling that one has for the Amar Jawan Jyoti at the India Gate. So, you know, what I feel, sir, is symbols have an intangible value in nation building. The Aam Aadmi associates them with important events in the life of a nation. They are not just brick and mortar or names inscribed on bricks or on placards, but they have a halo, an aura that radiates from them and forms an invisible link among the populace, something that can only be sensed and felt. The Amar Jawan Jyoti at the India Gate was, and I'm now using past tense, was one such icon that had a place in every Indian's heart. And not only because it was televised so frequently, or perhaps as Shreya said, people went there, lakhs of people went there and got inspired. You know, it's the memorial to the 71 war triumph, an event that has not been surpassed since then, nor will happen again.
Yeah.
So the merger with the National War Memorial will remove from the public eye that most visible personification of India's greatest man. The National War Memorial is wonderful. I've gone there, I've paid my respects, I've saluted all the people, all the Jawans, the airmen and the sailors who have fallen for our nation. It's an apt remembrance, but it cannot match the easy accessibility of India Gate, or where the common man would come any time of the day or night, where children invariably came and saluted the Amar Jawan, embodied in the India Gate arch, and at the footsteps of which two generations of Indians, that is I, and I think I speak for many, had moist eyes standing at attention, listening to the haunting strains of the last dose.
Yeah,
I feel, sir, that the absence of the Amar Jawan Jyoti at India Gate would leave a void, as I tweeted in the morning.
Okay.
In countless Indian hearts.
AVM Bahadur, before I go to General Malik on the very same question, you know, a lot has, through the day I've heard a lot about our colonial past. It's our past. We need to own it. We need to be proud of it. And I'm going to put this question to General Malik, but I want to ask you something that you know, that I won't say hurt. I don't think hurt is the right word here, but something that took me by surprise when this whole narrative of our war versus their war came about. And it came not from the political class, it came from the Fauji veteran community, where you had some veterans, at least one veteran, a highly decorated veteran, talk about Indian soldiers who lost their lives in World War I. He called them mercenaries. That was their war, the British war. It wasn't our war. And therefore, the soldiers who died, they were mercenaries. That war didn't have anything to do with India. What do you make of that, Manmohan Bahadur, of that narrative, which the political, you know, we can't blame the political class for that. It's the veteran community where this debate started, where this narrative started.
Yes, and I replied to that veteran to say that our great Indian Army, Pulton spirit, the unit cohesion, the never leave a man behind spirit, the traditions, the ethics, the ethos, all came from a certain past.
Okay.
They did not come from 15th August 1947. We cannot disown. That way, I think most of the Indian Army regiments will have to throw away all the units citations, all the stories of valor, grit before 1947.
True. General Malik, just
That's
coming.
not fair.
That's not fair.
The Indian Army is much beyond that.
Okay, let me
It's
get in.
something
General,
proud of.
We are. General Malik, let me get you in here. What do you make of this our war versus their war, our colonial past, something we need to disown, etc.? It's played out through the day-to-day, and it's not the first time it has played out. What many people don't know is that some of India's most decorated army units have their rooting to valor and bravery and blood in this very colonial past.
You know, I totally agree with Manmohan Bahadur, and he's put it rightly that the Indian armed forces, they carry their tradition not since 47, but much earlier than that, which includes the World War that we have fought. Let me tell you one thing. I know of a professor in King's College in UK, and he made a statement in front of me. He said that if the Indian armed forces had not fought the war, their allies would not have won that war. And there is no doubt about it. So as far as the soldier is concerned, he doesn't fight for a political party. He fights for the nation.
Correct.
The nation that stood there at that time. If there had been an Indian politician who was a part of the government, we would have still continued to fight. Let me also tell you that during First World War, Mahatma Gandhi, he raised a unit of ambulance Jawans, people who would carry stretcher bearers and ambulance for the First World War.
Correct.
And this is a fact that I am telling you. So to say that they belong to some other country or some other nation and they were mercenaries and all, it is total ignorance and I would say a wrong mindset.
Okay.
The soldiers fight for the nation and that is what the soldiers have been doing, whether it was First World War or Second World War and subsequently, of course, when the country became independent.
Okay.
We have been fighting that.
Okay.
And as Manmohan Bahadur very rightly said, there are a very large number of our very good traditions, the ethos, the value system that we have adopted from those days
that comes
of
from the British.
First World War, Second World War,
Yes,
and our history of the nation.
Correct.
History of our units, which is there.
Okay, I've completely run out of time. General Malik, thank you very much. It was good to get your perspective in. It was important to get your perspective in. And AVM Manmohan Bahadur, thank you very much for voicing what many veterans have been feeling but not really putting it out. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for giving us both points of view and both sides of the story. I'm slipping into a quick break on that. There's some more coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.